celebrate how great you are. I wanna celebrate whether near or far. I wanna celebrate. We've been running for so long. I wanna celebrate something happened went wrong.
This is our live stream here at the Rebel Scum podcast YouTube channel. We are celebrating day 3, and somebody is listening. Who's watching YouTube on the other end of this right here? It's one of our guys. I'm joined now with Brock and Rob. Brock and Rob, what's up? Okay, which one of you is watching this show right now? Yeah, mute it, Brock. Mute it. There's Brock's. There's a crotch shot of Brock happening right now. Rob, we've already talked today. Brock, you're here. You worked all day, but Brock, I need to talk to you as we start to share these links for this. We need to talk about Galaxy's Edge. You are a huge fan of theme parks, Disney especially. What's your expectations for Galaxy's Edge? Have you booked your ticket?
And I wouldn't say I'm elated because it's like, yeah, we knew this. It's fun to see some more visuals, which is great. Like seeing the Hondo Anaka, even though we've seen it, the moving around is great. But obviously the big thing is Yoda is going to be there. That's fantastic. What do you guys think about that?
Rob?
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, the fact that Frank Oz can come back and voice one of these things for the fans is pretty cool. I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear when Ahmed Best gets lend his voice to the land as well. That'd be great.
I hope they have some Gungans in there. He was on the Star Wars show stage yesterday. Awesome to see him on there. Got a huge ovation, as he should. And it was funny because I don't know if you guys ended up seeing that, but I did because I'm a huge Jar Jar fan. I put it on the Facebook page. He said that George Lucas told him when they were making this movie, he said, don't worry about the criticism right now because the kids today, back 20 years ago, are going to grow up and they're going to love you. And he said that is exactly what has been happening. Brock, anything else about Galaxy's Edge that kind of caught you off guard, maybe surprised you, excites you?
It's nice to see the cell phone app, whatever you want to call it, that they've kind of implemented. Disney does a really good job of that, where like you could go on the rides, you go to the shows, you can walk around, but like there's all these interactive things that they push it, but like they don't. It's not in your face, so it's kind of a fun thing to do that most people are like, whoa, what's that? So like it'll be interesting to try that out. Hopefully it's not too overly complicated, but that's the beauty of Disney. They have Wi-Fi everywhere because they need it. Yeah, to make their park run properly, you need a Wi-Fi app, a Wi-Fi available for these apps for FastPass and what say. So that's really fun. I like the fact that like you can tune into like I think there were satellites and listen to people talk. And I'm like, that's awesome, and like that's reminiscent of when you go to Magic Kingdom. And if you go down certain like alleyways, you can hear people talking in the windows and what do you call it? I forget the main drag there. It's escaping my mind because it wouldn't be a podcast if I couldn't remember something. But yeah, no, it's super awesome. What do you guys think of the Coca-Cola merchandise?
I want 7 of them. I have the ones from, actually I think I just threw them out last year. I have the ones from the World Cup in, I don't know, it was like 10 years ago that Coca-Cola did World Cup soccer ball ones, and I was like, ooh, and I definitely want to get some of these ones. I was like, yeah, I'm into that. It's probably $7 a bottle, and it's probably the size of like, my thumb, but yeah, I'll do it. Why not? I mean, that's to say I have to get into the theme park first, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting in general. I felt like when I looked up like exactly what this was, it was just a big gigantic document of a whole bunch of different things that'll be there, and that's good. At least there's a lot of things to be excited about. And yeah, I just want to see the way it looks. The thing I most want to see is I want to see the Millennium Falcon. Just see the gigantic Millennium Falcon there right in front of me. That'll be amazing.
No, like I might have missed this. I mean, I've seen the footage of what it looks like, or what the ride is supposed to look like. But I'm curious. I guess then you get in the Millennium Falcon and there's different ride compartments, like, or not different ride, but like multiple people can take the same, like, I guess it'd be a car, right? Like it'd be like you get in it, and I would assume it's Disney, so it's probably in water because it's a boat. But yeah, I'm really interested in that. I don't like a lot of like fast rides, but like I get the sense it'll be mostly pretend because you can't go to space. Or do you think Disney can send us to space now?
I think Disney could send us to space. I don't think they're going to, because I don't think they want to. Facts.
Fact.
That's a fact. Oh, guys,
yeah,
just before we start, sorry, we did do the Bloodline contest yesterday. The winner will be reached out to today, and we will announce the winner tomorrow. So the winner will be announced tomorrow, but they'll be reached out later today. So congratulations to the winner. Yay, Bloodline. If you haven't read it, you need to read it because it's freaking amazing. Thanks, everybody who commented on it. So let's move on from Galaxy's Edge. Brock, you're going to go there probably this summer. You're going to be like, I went on half a ride. And well, the cool thing though is apparently when you're in line, you get a pee pass. You get so like the lines are going to be so long, you're going to have to go to the bathroom. And so they're giving you like a pee pass on your card. So I'm kind of excited about that. So today was actually a massive day at Star Wars Celebration. This was like, I think, I don't know if like Lucasfilm, ReedPop, I don't think if they were like, you know what? I don't know. I don't think they knew that this day was going to be as big as it was. But it was great. Andrew's going to have his end of the day video going up. There's one right now. He did Never Tell Me the Odds. Rob and I did an Unleash on the Mandalorian. We won't go to the Mandalorian right away. We got to talk about Clone Wars. One of the coolest parts of the Clone Wars, I don't know if either one of you guys were able to watch any of the panel or not. And I'm not going to go. We lost Brock. So I don't want to go into too much, spoilery detail. Watch the panel if you can. But what I want to say is, Rob, you're going to appreciate this. 1313. Did you know about this, Rob? 1313 came back. The video game is not coming back, but the location 1313 is going to be canon in Clone Wars.
Oh no, I did not know that part. I didn't get the. I figured Brock went away because you said if you guys have watched the panel, and he didn't watch the panel, so he went away. That's probably what happened. Maybe I should have gone away too because I didn't get to watch the panel, but I did watch the trailer, and it's pretty exciting just to have the return of Clone Wars and the return of just these animated shows. I mean, Rebels is gone for now. Who knows if Rebels will come back at some point, or whether whatever it will just be a sequel to the end of Rebels, because obviously it opened up to more stuff there. But just seeing this trailer for Clone Wars, and that's maybe the most exciting part for me right now, and anticipating when that's coming out. Did they give us a date at the panel?
Not that I saw. I actually didn't get to watch that. Brock just texted me. His power went out. Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong. Brock is going to do the best he can to join us. I'm going to try to reframe this. From what I saw, they did not give us a date. I mean, they could have, but like I said, from what I was able to see, they did not. I wasn't able to watch the entire panel for just life reasons. I was busy today. I had a busy day. I had to walk my dog. But I didn't see a date. If you guys saw a date, let us know in the comments below. We got Rob. I just want to go right to the comments right now because we gotta talk about this. What's this one?
Yeah.
All right, a lot of talk about Raylo in the comments. And you and I have actually, I don't think, ever had a conversation about Raylo. So why don't you alienate half of our viewers and tell us your opinion on it? It doesn't matter which way you go. You're going to alienate somebody.
I mean, I guess mostly with Raylo, I'm just more in the middle of it all. Like, it's like, oh, it could be something, it could not be something. I just don't want it to feel forced, most of all. I don't want it to just be, because I guess my little bit of problem within In the Last Jedi was that I think it felt a little bit forced, considering like they never hinted at anything of a romance, at least in my opinion, in Force Awakens, right? Like it seemed like it was just an adversarial type of relationship in that one. And this one, they kind of opened it up a little bit because, Adam Driver had to show off his bare chest, and yeah, it's an interesting thing. I mean, I'd be open to it coming back again. I just don't want it to feel forced. I just if they want to give Rey a love interest, I'm okay with it being Kylo. I just want it to be well written, I guess. Let's say for that most way. And Brock's back now, just for the Raylo conversation.
Look at this. It switched to the camera we wanted this whole time.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, Brock's out of frame right now. Brock, put on your YouTube so you can see what your framing is like. We're talking about Raylo right now. Tight Talk joins us. Hi, guys. Raylo is forced, says Jake Rivers. He says, so glad there won't be any romance in episode 9. See, I got to say this, and Jake, I don't want to disagree with you, but in that panel, I kind of thought that Ridley was hinting at something. I don't know about, here's the thing. I don't know about romance, and we're going to get it. There's going to be a lot of 8 more months of talking about this, obviously. I wasn't sure if she was talking about romance, but there is something between Rey and Kylo Ren, and they are connected on some level, and it could be romantic. I don't know, because she kind of had this reaction to it. But I said this the other day with Andrew. I said my favorite part was when Boyega brought up the love triangle with Rose, Finn, and Rey, and then he had to pipe in about with Poe. Yeah, I thought that was a good one. Brock has turned into the Last Jedi poster, which we all find to be 100% more accurate than his face. There it is. Look, I don't know. My whole thing with Raylo though is I don't have a problem with it. I didn't have there was a Luke, Leia, Han we've had Padme and Anakin. So we've had love in there. But I will say, if it is forced and if they do it just for the sake of doing it, then that's wrong. But there has to be a reason for that. Rob?
Yeah, I think a good example of one that I think would have been forced if it happened was that I know that they said in some shootings of Rogue One, they had both, I forgot her name for a second, Kat and Jin, that originally they actually kissed at one point towards that end. And that's an example, one that I felt like would have been forced if they had done that. I don't know what you think about that, James, but yeah, that was one that I think would have been forced. And again, if they do it well, I think that there's a really good chance, and Brock's back again, that this whole romance thing could work out. But I think that if we're going to take anything in terms of romance out of the panel from Friday, it is that maybe Finn and Poe are for life.
Finn and Poe for life. All right, actually, here's a question from Aaron Quinton. We got to bring this one up. Brock, I'm going to start with you since you've been since you disappeared for a little while there. Here's what he says. I'm looking at it on my phone because I can't read the computer. It's too far away, and I'm blind as a bat. And my phone went sideways. Hold on. How do you get? Okay, I'm just going to read off the screen. Okay, will Rey and Ben have twins and replace the Mortis gods, or will they die together like Star Wars The Notebook? Brock.
First of all, how dare you use Mortis in this so that I'll have to answer. It's amazing how if you just say Mortis, it's just like, yeah, that'd be sick. Come on. I will give it up for the Notebook reference, though. I think I said it before. I feel like these two characters are so powerful in whatever side they represent, because it's so ambiguous. I feel like the only outcome to bring balance is that they kind of destroy each other. So I guess I go with the Notebook answer. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Rey. I like Kylo. I want 6 more movies of them, but I don't know if that's in the card. So,
or they both become Grey Jedi. That's what's going to happen.
They form together and create Voltron.
There you go.
I've never seen the Notebook, so I can't comment on that either way. Do you think that there's a
Cool,
chance? Do you guys think that there is a chance in hell? I can say hell because in Star Wars, Han says, "I'll see you in hell." It's been referenced, so it is.
Yeah.
It is in Star Wars lore. Do you think that there's a shot though that something like Mortis will be referenced in Episode 9 in any capacity?
I mean, I personally think that, we've been talking about this whole time about how whether Clone Wars stuff or, animated stuff in general is going to start being referenced in movies. And I feel like something like what Solo did last year with reintroducing Maul and telling, the common film fan base that Maul is still alive and could be in more movies, makes the possibility at least open. I feel like that door is at least nudged a little bit open. That you could say it's like, oh, maybe they would do something Mortis related. It's just that they would have to retell everything, right, to the common fan base. I think they would have to retell the whole story in a lot of way. Like at least give the fans a Cliff Notes version in order to understand it. And suddenly they'll be like, what the heck? There's just this other world in which these three all-powerful beings just lived. Like they would have to do like a reintroduction of it all, because I feel like there's a chance though. I don't know about you guys.
I don't know. It's cool. I'm not saying I don't want it there. I just don't know how, if you put it there. I'm curious how they're bringing Shivi P back, because I think it's easy. He was thrown down a shaft, but did he just stay on like the remains of the Death Star for 30 years and he just kind of hung out on Side Akbar, Brock?
Mm-hmm.
Are they finally going back to Endor?
I want it so hard. That sounded weird. It was up between the rumors, or was there some new news that I missed from Celebration between Kashyyyk and Endor? Kashyyyk just kind of makes more sense to me because I don't know. I feel like they are more. I don't know. I just look at it like, who would you want to battle with? Wookiees or Ewoks? And I can't answer that. But it doesn't need to be a battle,
But
that's where my mind goes.
But if it's a second Death Star that they're going after, it wouldn't be on Kashyyyk. It would be on Endor.
It would be on Endor.
So there actually would be a point. There'd be a point for it to go to Endor if they're going to go. For me, it's probably everyone's speculating it's Endor as a Yavin. It's probably just some random planet that they go to. Rob.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because if we're looking at the content within that trailer and the shot that was there at the end of that wreckage, that doesn't look like a terrain that we really saw in Return of the Jedi on Endor. So I'm not sure whether we're gonna say that it went somewhere else, or I don't know, because obviously if it was gonna fall to anywhere, the wreckage, it would be on Endor. But maybe maybe they're going to another moon. Maybe they're going to, because obviously they said forest moon of Endor, so maybe it landed on something else, right? I think there's a good chance that we're going to be in that area at the very least. I don't know if they're actually going to go on that moon of Endor or not, in which the final battle in Return of the Jedi took place.
I'm ready for Ewoks. I'm ready for the return of the most ferocious teddy bears on the planet. Bring them home, JJ. Bring them home. I haven't had a chance to really talk to you guys. Brock, I kind of did yesterday when I randomly called you during the live stream. But I haven't talked to you guys much about the Episode 9 trailer, and I'm still not going to. Because I have to bring up something else from the Clone Wars panel that I thought was super cool. As a Darth Maul fan, Maul is obviously back in this season of it. Sam Witwer will be doing his voice, and he will be animated. But the animation is going to be completely different from any other animation they have done. Dave Filoni called the main man Ray Park, and he mo-capped Maul's fights. All the lightsaber scenes you see Darth Maul do will be Ray Park doing them himself. I thought that was super cool. He, at the very end of the trailer that they showed, you can see him. I think that's going to be awesome. Add a little element to it. Rob, do you even care? But I do. But do you care? Do you think that's cool? I think it's super cool. I don't know.
It's interesting. I think it's cool, but I just kind of wonder, it's like, on something that's animated like that, like, a real like good reason for why you would do motion capture for something like that? Because obviously, I think with Clone Wars and Rebels, I don't know if they've ever done that before. It actually needed to do a motion capture for anything. I feel like it was just straight done with the animation department. So, I mean, I think it's a really cool like tidbit of information to know about it. I just want to. I'd be curious if like Bob Iger ever asked. It's like, hey, why did you need to do that specifically? It's like, why did you need to spend that extra, whatever money? But I think it's a cool little trivia note that they actually brought him in to do some of it, to get some of the movement down in terms of, like, maybe in terms of Rebels, we'll actually get like a fight scene that looks like most close to like a real life lightsaber fight scene in, in Clone Wars.
This is what Filoni said.
Yeah,
he said the Maul and Obi-Wan's thing, he said it was very short, but he wanted this one to be a nice, long, extensive one. And I guess the best way to do it was have, the man come in and step up and do that, Brock.
Yeah.
It's just a comment.
Exciting. I haven't really let it really sink in. I mean, with it makes sense. So what Rob was talking about, like the way mocap works, it's got to be somewhat similar to animation, and like to put that detail in, they didn't have to do that. Like, I've been pretty content with lightsaber fights in Clone Wars and Rebels, and I'm trying to think. No, they haven't really shown any. Oh, no, there's no Jedi in that. And am I saying that right? Is there no Jedi in Resistance? Anyways, doesn't matter. I'm happy with it. So it's just like, wow. It's another sign of, like, they like what they do. They're like, let's make this as real as possible. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll wear cowboy hat.
He took it off for the Mandalorian panel, and it threw me right off. I was like, who is this man sitting beside Jon Favreau? Who is this man? Okay, so we got to go back to Ben Solo, a.k.a. Kylo Ren, a.k.a. Ben Skywalker. Reportedly Ben Skywalker. Some people say he's not a Skywalker. Here's a thought that's going around, which could be a lie. I might have just made this up. Is Ben Solo undercover brother right now? And he's actually, he knew he was being deceived the entire time, but the only way to get to Sheevy P was to trick everyone close to him, including his uncle, and that was the only way to kind of infiltrate Sheev, was to make everyone around him believe that he had turned to the dark side. And in doing so, this whole thing seems like he's just crumbling at the pieces. And in doing so, his father was aware, and he knew that the only way to actually get to Sheevy was to die. That's going around the internet. I didn't just make that up. It doesn't sound plausible, but it also sounds very, very probable in a different franchise. Brock, shut this one down quickly, please.
He goes to teach potions at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and then gets the Elder Wand. Oh, wait, they've already done that. I don't hate it. I don't hate it, but wouldn't you be mad if that were the case and you're like, so Han had to kill himself?
Was
that like...
If you guys watched the episode 9 panel, sorry, Brock, there's a rule here. Rob knows it. Every time we say episode 9 and not Rise of Skywalker, we got to put a toonie in a jar. Toonie is a $2 coin. I mentioned that way we can all pay for accommodations for the next celebration. So we're gonna. I'm down $22 right now. That's what I'm down. 22 Canadian bucks.
I'm at 24 now.
You're at 24. So that puts us at 17 American cents is what that gets us to. Yeah. But in the Rise of the Skywalker panel, which I can say now, J.J. Abrams said at one point, and Stephen Colbert called him out on it, that he said that this would be this opportunity for the light side and the dark side to fight an evil in the galaxy. And it sounded like it was a slip up at the time. Colbert's like, well, I have to know what that is, and he didn't say it. And it was like, well, what's he talking about? Then obviously you see the trailer and you get the laugh. So for me, I think it's more interesting. And I'm sorry, and I shouldn't say it's more interesting. It's an opportunity for these two conflicting sides of the Force to understand that the only way that they can achieve some sort of balance that they both are desperate for in a way is to destroy ShiVP, DS, Darth Sidious. That's what I'm talking about. And I just think that it's extremely interesting for that to be the case, that Kylo Ren remains Kylo Ren the entire time, keeps the red blade, although I think it would be kind of cool if we see that one that Ezra holds where it's a green blade in the cross saber. I think whatever. But I think though that I think that could be a very intriguing plot point, that if they do have to kind of reluctantly work together like they did against the Praetorian Guards, we know that they can work together, and it makes a freaking incredible scene, Rob.
That part of the scene's incredible. Sure, why not? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this whole double agent thing, I mean, I know they talked about, I think there's people that talked about it before even The Last Jedi came out, how it's like, oh, he did it on purpose to get close to what people thought was Snoke at that time. And now it's, I guess people are talking about it, it's to get close to Palpatine. Now this trailer is there. I don't know. All this seems like a little too, like, you mentioned it, like Harry Potter, or like 24-ish to me a little bit, especially considering the funny coincidence about the whole Harry Potter comparison is the fact that they're both emo white guys with long black hair as well. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not for it. I think that there's definitely something very important about the whole Palpatine part of it, and I think that there's a really good chance that just Kylo might end up being redeemed, and that's the whole Rise of the Skywalker part of it, how it's going to be about him being redeemed. But I'm also at that the point of thinking it's like Kylo Ren's done a lot of bad stuff, and I think he's, at this point, at least to me, past the point of being redeemed.
Yeah, like I don't want him to be redeemed. I like him as a character, and let's keep him a villain.
There's a way to keep him. Yeah, there's a way to keep him the villain and not be redeemed, but still have him perform a heroic act, and that would be like the Praetorian Guard scene, because that scene is awesome.
He can be Star Wars' version of Loki. You're not sure whether he's good or bad the whole time.
Yeah, that'd be a good example, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, he could do something heroic a couple times, and then also be like, "Oh, I'm still evil. I'm gonna, go kill my mom, go kill, Akbar's brother."
I just want to remind everybody watching in the comments, thanks so much for commenting, guys. Keep it going. That's what makes this fun. After we're done this, probably around 8:30 tonight, Andrew is going to have his Day 4 celebration wrap-up show. You got to watch that. He has some special guests. He sent it. I look down, and I see they might be Mike and Ezra from Rebel Watch. So you guys should watch that. That's going to be a lot of fun. I believe that they are all going to the Phantom Menace panel tomorrow without me. That's a panel that I might cry. I might start to cry. I'm not going to cry, though.
It's really exciting for the fans in the chat too, as I see Andrew Fantasia's made a appearance in the chat. So this is your rare opportunity to talk to Andrew Fantasia via YouTube chat.
He met an 11-year-old that could smash you at trivia.
I read that. Yeah, bring it.
Here's an idea. Has Palpatine's essence inhabited? This is from Amanda Sennett. I think it's from Amanda. Yeah. Her theory is this. Palp's essence, ShiVP's essence, went into Vader's helmet right before he died. Snoke gave Kylo the helmet to feed dark side influence to him. That's why Kylo goes to it when he feels pulled to the light. Brock, are you down with that?
Yeah, I love that. That's great. I mean, I'm conflicted on Palpatine, but like I like this idea of I mean, we talk about MacGuffins. I'm not saying this is a MacGuffin, but like just these items that are drawing them to these places, like the lightsaber in Force Awakens draws them in. I guess technically Hans Dice is kind of I'm just pulling things off the top of my head. I like that a lot. If we're gonna have Palpatine come back, like in my head I was like, well, will they go to the Death Star? And he's a ghost in the Death Star. I like that idea because it kind of okay, like that's a logical go-to. I mean, assuming he's not somehow alive, that's fine too. Like I'm just saying, but I do like that quite a bit. and it would be nice to have a bookend of that concept from Force Awakens, where he's like, "I will finish what you have started." I'm like, "Yay!"
Well, here's a whole part of it, because if he floats into Darth Vader's helmet, his essence flows in there. I figure there's probably a really good chance that there might be 5 other items in which his essence flew into. So a part of this entire thing will be having to find these items, like Luke's old lightsaber, and just having to destroy these items before they could actually destroy Palpatine for good.
Oh, like Horcruxes.
Yes. I'm glad you caught on.
Amanda just wrote, it's
Oh,
like
man.
Voldemort's Horcruxes. There's a lot of chatter going on. Breaking news, Brock is the Mandalorian, and he's also Rey's brother and Watto. Brock, you never told me you were Watto.
What? Wait
That's,
a second.
That's Andrew
I'm the
Fantasia.
brother of Rey and Watto, or I am just Watto?
I think you're just Watto because there's a period, unless his phone did that thing where he accidentally hits the period and then the next word is capitalized. I don't know. I'm sure Andrew Fantasia will correct himself. He has a book. It's called Side Scroller. Buy it. His punctuation's better than that.
Side scroller. I've read 20 pages.
Have you really?
Yeah.
There's
I
a
read the
discussion.
prologue.
There's a discussion going on now in the comments about how long SheVP is going to appear in this film. Rob! Oh, he's got side scroller. Oh, he bought it! Wow.
It's signed and everything. And everything, of course.
No
How long
way.
is he going to appear? Is that the question?
Yeah, so wait, is he going? So how
Sorry.
long will SheVP be in episode 9? Could he just be a holocron announcement? Is it just his essence, or is Sheev going to actually be like, I can't do it? Andrew, can you just call in and do your impression of the Emperor? He's like, roll it again.
Roll it again. Yeah. Oh man, I'm very interested to see that's how he's going to be in it, because you brought up the whole thing. I mean, I kind of talked about it, how I thought it would have been an interesting part if in Last Jedi in some way Snoke became like the first ever dark side Force ghost, but maybe there's a chance that could be the Palpatine's part in it, in which he could be the first ever dark side Force ghost, at least the first one that we know of. And I mean, it kind of might be an interesting thing if it was on one side, Rey's kind of being spoken to by the Force ghost Luke, which we never got to see it, but I'm pretty sure that's happening. And on the dark side, Palpatine is speaking to Ben via Force ghost as well. I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I could envision some kind of massive group of Force ghosts that, I mean, and I only say that because it's this is the end of the saga, of the Skywalker saga, and this is, I don't know, it I could be the end of Return of the King, where Aragorn shows up with ghosts. It's kind of similar. We need to stop comparing it to other franchises.
Yeah, but do we though?
Yeah,
Because Star Wars' whole thing is that it was inspired by other franchises. So
That's true.
Why would this not be any different? You got to get inspiration from something. And the thing with Star Wars is, as original as it is, it's unoriginal at the same time. For all its originality, it's there are scenes that are shot for shot from Kurosawa scenes. There's no originality, but that's what makes it so original, is the way that you tie all of these influences together and make something unique and amazing and masterful. And that's why you have 5 days of 100,000 people in Chicago right now. Andrew, he left. I want to know his deep dish count. I gotta say that I'm going to be on the prowl right now because Jonathan Davis brought something up, and I just want to check it. So you guys just chat amongst yourselves.
Yeah, if we're going back to the whole, I brought it up as a joke in terms of, him just being a Force ghost, but I feel like with the way that they closed that trailer and, getting everybody so hyped up that Palpatine's coming back, it might be a little bit disappointing, or, to people if he just came back as a Force ghost, I guess. I don't know what you think about that, Brock. I feel like he's actually coming back at that.
I'm all for it. I just can't think of why or how, which is a lame answer, but my first thought is he's a clone or something like that. I'm but
yeah, in the books.
Yeah, you're talking Legends too much, which isn't a bad thing, but And what does the non-Star Wars fan say about that? They're I think I even had to explain to someone who Palpatine was. Not that the name is ever said, but like his laugh is known, right?
Yeah.
But even I think, well, without the visual, like we watch Star Wars over and over and over again, so like we can kind of like, oh, who's that? But with the normal Star Wars, non-Star Wars, just someone going to the movies like, oh, it's Star Wars. I hear those are good. What would they say? We like, because they're like, what happened to the tall guy? Where was the tall guy? Even though he dies, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like, well, how does the tall guy relate to that guy, or why? I've always said it was like, will my parents get this? And I don't know how exactly you do that without telling them ahead of time. I don't know.
That's a really good point, actually, because you bringing up like how his laugh, and when I showed this trailer to my mom, actually, that laugh didn't click for her as Palpatine.
Yeah.
Like she didn't realize that. Like that's somebody that has only watched like Return of the Jedi 3 or 4 times max, right? Like I think, and for those types of people, I wonder, like these casual fans, like whether somebody had to tell them that was Palpatine's voice, or whether. But
here's the question. Here's the question for us: we're like Palpatine, but for somebody watching it, does it matter? Because you hear an evil laugh, and if you don't know who Palpatine is for whatever reason, I don't know why you're watching a Star Wars show if you don't know who he is, but if you don't know who he is, then maybe you're like, oh, is that tall guy? Or who the hell is this voice? Who's this new bad guy? And then that sparks a whole other kind of curiosity for you. Because it doesn't necessarily matter who it is, because it's an evil, sinister laugh, and that's going to spark interest in what it is. That's the way I looked at it. I also showed this to my 8-year-old nephew who doesn't know who Palpatine is, and he was like, is that the Emperor? His reaction, I wish I recorded this damn thing. It was the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Brock, you would have appreciated his reaction.
Mm-hmm. No, that's cool. I mean, that at least gives me hope that more casual Star Wars fans would click for them at least, because I mean, from what I know, Evan's not a huge Star Wars fan, but he does like the movies. Is that right, James?
No, I don't think he cares about the movies. He loves the idea.
Oh, he just loves the idea. Okay, so that's either way. That's awesome.
Well, then his
click for him.
opinion doesn't matter.
No, but like I just think you end it with this laugh, and we're like, oh, it's the Emperor. But if you don't know who it is, the question is, who is the bad guy in this movie? And the whole time, if you're watching this, like, I'll just say this: he's 8 years old. He loves Kylo Ren's lightsaber. Because every kid likes swords, right? Like that's just, it's inevitable.
Yep.
So, but when Kylo Ren stabbed Knight of Ren, whoever that thing is, and like threw him down, his reaction was this: he's a good guy now. And I was like, where do you, like, I didn't tell him anything. I just said, do you want to see the new Star Wars thing? And he's like, yes. And I put it on. And when Rey did the flip, he freaked out. But when Kylo stabbed him and tossed him, he said, Kylo's a good guy now. His like 8-year-old kid's mental state went right to, he's not bad in that moment of time. And I thought that was telling. And it comes back to, these movies are made for kids, as George Lucas always said. So I think sometimes we try to, this has nothing to do with Palpatine, we try to complicate Star Wars when we keep getting proven wrong, and it's always the most simplistic answer we could think of is what we get almost consistently with Star Wars. And we overlook it because we're like, oh, it's got to be, and we come up with this whole big backstory, and that's not relevant in the moment. 5 years from now, Claudia Gray will write an amazing book about it, but right now, it's not the point.
Yeah, fair. This all being said, I'm fairly optimistic this is going to be an amazing movie. I mean,
no.
I want to say Last Jedi excited me, the trailer, but this one really caught my eye when I watched it. I was like, yowza. So anyway, sorry, you were saying?
No, I think this movie's going to make $1.5 billion easily. Easily.
I mean, I'm curious. I mean, I have friends that have speculated that this one might not make $1 billion, but can't see that being possible at all. I think it's definitely going to make $1 billion at least. I mean, I don't think it'll catch Force Awakens, and there's a chance, I think, that it might not catch Last Jedi, because if there's enough people that got thrown off by The Last Jedi to not want to watch this movie, then they might not go see it. I mean, people didn't go see Solo, so I don't know what that could really mean to it, because it's a spin-off movie.
Solo wasn't an event film. This is an event film. This is the end of the Skywalker saga. You market it that way. They marketing this. The thing that's brilliant about this is the marketing is the polar opposite of the Phantom Menace. They both have the same tagline in them, where every legend has a beginning. The words were the same, and because I just watched the Phantom Menace trailer for a book, so I was like, is it Rey? Mm-hmm. I just think that's good, but it's going to draw people in because this is the last one, and the next trailer is going to be even more spectacularly epic, and it's December also, and it's the event, and that's what. And Star Wars, that's why next year we're not going to get a movie, and the next movie should just be the big event film. That's what I think. Just be like, hey, enjoy it. Watch The Mandalorian on TV. Mm-hmm. I want to see this in 3D. I want to see Rey jump over a TIE fighter in 3 dimensions. 3 dimensions.
I'm off of the whole 3D train now at this point. So
Rey jumping over a TIE fighter in 3D. Rey jumping over a TIE fighter in 3D. Bring it.
Oh yeah. The one other part where you mentioned about it being an event film thing. The thing is also at the same time, I wouldn't have thought that Rogue One would have really been an event film either, right? Like Rogue One was a spin-off as well, similar to Solo, but it had the huge benefit of following following Force Awakens.
And December. And in December.
So
May was a huge mistake. I think everyone knows that. They just whatever. This movie's gonna make 1.5 billion. If I'm wrong, I'll give you a 1.5 billion, Rob. How's that? I will put it 1.5 billion.
Is that going to go in the jar? 1.5 billion.
I'll put 1.5 billion in the jar. It's going to make 1.5 billion. It's not going to make as much as Force Awakens, because Force Awakens, look, Avengers Endgame probably will. It'll probably beat it, but it's like $2 billion is really hard. Like unless you're named Fast and the Furious and you're Vin Diesel, you're just not going to hit it.
Yeah, and I think the real question about just instant trailer is Dio actually going to be the one that defeats everybody?
Did you guys like
Dio?
Oh, Brock, you didn't watch the panel, did you?
No, dude, I have things to do.
Yeah, I know. I took lunch break and I watched the panel. Okay.
Oh,
Dio is the name of BB-8's new droid friend. He's basically on a unicycle, and he's like, he kind of reminded me of Pee Wee Herman. I hope he's voiced by Pee Wee Herman. Paul Rubens. I hope he's voiced by Paul Rubens. And I also hope this movie is directed by Tim Burton and Danny Elfman does the score. All right, let's move on to the other big panel of the day. The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Rob is wearing his shirt that's blocked by a Star Wars Celebration graphic. Great job. The Mandalorian panel was today. Brock did not watch it, but you did.
A little higher.
That panel was today. I thought the panel was a lot of fun. It was a little clunky. Jon Favreau kind of moderated it, but he was also in the panel, so it was a little bit. It was mostly just Favreau and it was kind of like this live stream. It was mostly just everyone talking over each other. That's what it reminded me of. Rob and I did an Unleashed on it. Watch that. Brock, do you know anything about the Mandalorian panel?
I've seen bits of the what do you call those things? Not trailer, not sizzle reel sort of thing. I saw parts of that. It looks cool. They're super hype. I'm like, ooh, they're happy about their project, so I'm in. But yeah, it's just nice hearing them talk about it. I'm really wanting to go back and watch again because it's just like, wow, I'm watching all these things all at once. So it was cool. But can we talk about Carl Weathers' goatee? Why is it white and the hair is dark? I'm so confused.
Well, I'm kind of, I don't know. I go really dark to really light my whole life. So
no, that's not the same. Anyway, Carl Weathers, he's back. Who cares?
It's a good point, Brock. You know what it reminded me of? The Hayden Christensen film Jumper, because I believe Sam Jackson was doing the same look in that movie, where he had the same type of look. So it reminded me a little bit of that. I guess it's just a choice, right? Like yeah. He's Carl Weathers. He can rock whatever he wants.
That's
Meat,
true.
Potatoes. You got Stugo then, brother.
Rob, you gotta bring up Gina Carano's character because this one I think is going to be one of my favorite characters in the Star Wars universe. I already pre-ordered the Black Series, which does not exist, and I haven't actually pre-ordered it, but I will when I can. Why don't you tell Brock who she's playing, and the people and all the viewers, let them know who she's playing as well, because Brock does not know.
So this was a part I think we might have to fix a little because I didn't realize it during the panel. So it said that her character is Cara Dune, and it's an actual ex-shock trooper. However, the thing that we left out was that she actually said ex-rebel shock trooper. So I don't know what that means. Yeah, so I don't know what that means exactly. Whether it's like she was a shock trooper and then switched to the rebellion side, or I'm not sure.
Maybe the rebellion has shock. I don't know either, Rob. The trooper part really.
I don't know why there would be trooper. Yeah, exactly.
What is the name? Cara Dune or Dune?
Dune. D-U-N.
Oh,
D-U-N.
so almost like Kanan. Or sorry, his actual last name. What was his actual name?
Jarrus.
But then
Caleb Dune. Doom.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I am the Bendu.
Interesting. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I'm just reading the comments.
Awesome.
Yeah, so the Mandalorian panel was a lot of fun. They showed a nice behind the scenes. Brock, I told you in a text earlier. I said it's not there was nothing really like newsy about it, but it was newsy. Obviously, it's a show coming out on November 12th. Disappointingly, not in Canada on November 12th. I said December, but November 12th, because apparently Rob ruined my life by telling me that Disney Plus won't be in Canada until later in 2020 because they hate us.
Yeah. But
I'm hoping that it changes. Who knows? I want to see it right away.
Is there a date, Rob? Because I haven't heard this. Is there a date in 2020, or it just says 2020?
I just saw when they posted, was when they had all the information out about Disney Plus on Thursday night, I believe it was. They posted a big table basically showing when it's going to start dropping. So basically what they had was November 12th for the US, and they had North America under first quarter of 2020.
Okay.
And then they had posted Europe and Asia and it coming out on different times in 2020. So it was second quarter and third quarter and whatnot.
Well, it could be like a DC Universe thing where we kind of get it a month or two later, and
Oh yeah, and who knows? Maybe it'll sign with somebody because I believe Doom Patrol for DC Universe that's actually on Space here in Canada. So
yeah, exactly. So
you can watch it.
I don't think we're gonna get anything on any other networks or streaming sites in Canada. I think Disney's we are keeping everything because we're gonna get it so soon. That's what I think. Yeah. I gotta get to a few things here. Back to episode 9, because the Mandalorian looks great and all. Unless you guys anything else you want to say about the Mandalorian, I think that there's a few things. Rob, say a few. Some things were confirmed. IG-88 was confirmed. If you want to just let everybody know about that, if they don't know.
Yeah, so IG-88 confirmed voiced by Taika Waititi and whatnot, right? And I managed to there's been various videos that have come out that you can actually see people legally showing video of the sizzle reel. So they had apparently stuff there and whatnot, and you could see different parts of it. So I mean, IG-88 just in it in general is just awesome, and I think if anything, the thing I might be only worried about is that Taika is mostly voicing comedic characters, so I don't know if IG-88 is going to be comedic relief in some type of way in the show.
He might, but also he's a bounty hunter. He's got to be bad a little bit, don't you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Korg was destroying zombies and whatnot in Thor Ragnarok. So yeah, I'm sure he will be. And supposedly the footage of IG-88 was actually him in action as well. So I mean, it's gonna be awesome either way. I'm completely hyped for this. If you want to hear me go gaga over Mandalorian more, you can just watch the Unleashed episode from earlier today because I can't wait for this. I'm grinning ear to ear just waiting for the Mandalorian to come.
Yeah, and
IG-88 is a walking water vein, water antenna, so you can be kind of goofy if you want. Anyways.
He can be goofy if he wants. We have a new playlist on the channel called The Mandalorian, and when that show comes out, whenever the hell it does, Rob will be doing a reaction show to every episode called, what's it called, Rob?
Mandalorian Scum.
They're very original. We try really
Absolutely.
hard. Mandalorian Scum.
To be determined, I guess we could say as well.
I like it. Go for it.
Hawks Holocron wants us to go for another hour. So good night, everybody. We're done here. I'm just joking. This, Star Wars Celebration. The three of us went 2 years ago. Andrew's there now. Like I said, guys, right after this, probably around 8. It'll be after 8:30 now, probably. But we're going to post his day 4 recap. His recaps have been fantastic. If you haven't had a chance to check him out, he's having so much fun. And I talk with him every day, multiple times. He's getting sick of me. He's like, "Stop! Who is this? Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!" But he got to meet a few of you today, which was a lot of fun for him. So if you're there and you want to say hi to him. If you're not there, neither are we. So we're all in this together. Screw you, Andrew. He left, so we can't really be mean about it.
Screw you, Andrew. You're the worst.
Jonathan Davis brought this up earlier in the chat, and he said that at the end of the trailer, 139 mark, I actually went back and looked at it, that Rey is holding something in her hand. It's like a bag or a satchel or something. And he's like, what do you think that is? And I responded with, that's the MacGuffin. And I don't know if I'm right. I'm probably not because I haven't seen the movie. But it's at when she's looking out at what we're all kind of assuming is the Death Star ruins there on possibly Endor, possibly Yavin 4, possibly Camino. It's not Camino. But she's holding something in there. And we hadn't talked about this because he literally just said this a little while ago on the chat. But what do you guys have any speculation as what could be in there? I don't know why she's even going to the Death Star, but do you guys have any suspicions as to any of that?
I like what this trailer is kind of putting out, that even though there's kind of possibly some side adventures for each character, they seem to be in a group for a fair amount of times, or at least the important part of it, or maybe they come together at the end. They left Last Jedi together, so besides answering, I don't know what's in that bag, I'm going to say it is the gold statue from the Indiana Jones movie where the boulder starts chasing him. I think that's Temple of Doom. That gold guy going. That was
Alfred Molina. It's the gold statue, and I like. So we have the answer. Amanda Senda says she's got Horcruxes in the bag. We figure that. Rob, what's in the?
It's a theme.
We're gonna have a new segment on the show. What's in the bag, Rob? What's in the bag?
What's in the bag?
I'll keep it simple. All right. I'll say that what's in the bag is the pieces of the lightsaber, and she's going to the Death Star to get the kyber crystals from there, so she can rebuild her lightsaber. Let's go something simple like that.
Or let's go back to the earlier in this live stream. It's Vader's helmet, and they're like, "We took your helmet," and they're like, "Ay, ay, ay."
Yeah, that'd be an interesting part. Imagine if that wreckage was actually Starkiller Base, and they're going to go get Vader's helmet.
Yeah, why can't it be Starkiller Base is a planet though? I don't think a planet could land on a planet. I mean, it is Star Wars, so I guess anything is plausible. Jonathan Davis says maybe it's a breathing device to go in the water. Den Allen, our good friend, says maybe Amanda is close. It could be Force object that can trap and destroy Sidious's ghosts. Anything is possible at this point right now. It's
and they brought an Ecto one too.
Okay, let's bring this up. She said, here's the thing. Rock, you didn't see the panel. Rob, I think you did, but this is so they asked Daisy Ridley about the lightsaber, and Daisy Ridley said the lightsaber that she inherited lives, but she alluded to something else. If you watch the panel, she said it lives for now or something. She says something else at the end, and I haven't seen the panel since it was live on Friday, but she alludes to something. Never tell me the odds, Brock. Going to you first. Never tell me the odds that Rey will start with the saber, but at the end have something completely different to fight with.
I'm gonna go high because they'll do this so they can sell more toys. I'm gonna say 75% because maybe that's what she's missing, having her own lightsaber she assembles together, or I don't know. Like, I got the lightsaber we see in the trailer. That's Luke, Anakin, Rey's lightsaber, correct? I'm not crazy on that.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be against her having her own lightsaber, but it would be cool if there's that cool lightsaber from Lost Order where it looks like it's a tree branch or something, and you're like, yeah, let's just
Oh man. I think it would have to you'd have to try to guess, because I feel like because that lightsaber, again, it looks very much like Anakin / Luke's lightsaber. I have a feeling, unless they destroy a second time, that's just going to be her lightsaber. I think that just might be it, because considering that it is in the movie, I kind of feel like it's just going to be that, and that's just going to be her lightsaber. Because again, I feel like it would be kind of weird if they just again destroyed it again, and it's going to be like Kenny from South Park.
Yeah, but
every movie that will just get destroyed.
Who says it has to get destroyed? What if Ben Solo needs a light side lightsaber? Ben Demption.
Oh, and she just passes it off to him.
And she's like,
Demption.
Ben, take it, and she throws it, and he's like, and then she's like, I gotta construct a new one. Luckily, I have this purple kyber crystal, and she puts it in a new one with a cool like Count Dooku style, because I like that Count Dooku like lightsaber. She's like, and she finds Count Dooku's lightsaber, and then they're like, that's not how they sound, but and then they just start going crazy, and they're fighting. Praetorian guards are back.
And Sam Jackson shows up as a Force ghost and gives her the purple kyber crystal.
Do you guys think that there is room in any story to be told following Revenge of the Sith for Mace Windu to reappear? Rob, we'll start with you.
I mean, I said it was a joke, so unless they somehow taught Mace Windu how to do because obviously it took training for Obi-Wan to learn how to, become a Force ghost, right? They revealed that at the end of Revenge of the Sith. So I kind of feel like unless he just figured it out of nowhere, then that'd be a little bit weird. But I guess at the same time, Anakin seemed to figure it out of nowhere at the end of Return of the Jedi as well. So. I don't know. I guess it's possible, but I'm going to say unlikely.
Rock?
I think it would be fun, but I know what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson's always down to basically do anything. I just, even though it's like, where do they all land on the power or being able to deal with the Force? And I get the sense, even though Mace is usually considered one of the higher ups, I think there's he's a Grand Master over Yoda in some sense. I forget what that comes from, but I just don't see it at Qui-Gon sort of seems to bond with the Force, but it's not the same with Mace. But I would love it. It would be great. Like I said, we just have a party with the Force Ghosts at the end of this movie or in the middle of this movie, and you're like, boom, Mace Windu, bam.
Yeah, I think what I always heard about Yoda and Mace Windu when it comes to it, I think Mace was just the more skilled lightsaber duelist. That might have been only it. Yeah, that might have been it, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if there's an official book. Maybe George is going to write it at some point.
It's the official Samuel L. Jackson book.
Yeah, there you go.
I think
James?
I think that it's. Look, Lucas has, because anything Samuel L. Jackson says, Lucas agrees with, obviously, and he said that Mace is still alive, so Lucas agreed with that. I think that a game like Fallen Order, there's opportunity there to have this disfigured Mace kind of living in the shadows somewhere. The problem I have is how do you end his story? But I think I really honestly do believe, and look, if they don't ever do it, that's also fine. But I think there is a story in there that would be very intriguing and worth our time watching in some capacity, whether it's on the streaming service or on theatrical. Probably not theatrical. The way they're going is, I've even said it should be event films, and I don't know if that's an event. Like I can see him showing up, like not in The Mandalorian, but in a show of that style where he's just like, like Fallen Order, and he sees this young Padawan, and he's like, I know who you are. I don't know why he sounds like that. He's like, come with me, and like that type of thing. But he's all like, he can't do much, and he knows that he's, if he comes out, he's gonna get slaughtered. So I think there's an opportunity there to do it in a realistic way that would be. That would serve a purpose, personally.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, I myself am like starting to become a little bit more, not upset, just I don't like it that it's like we're just finding out more and more Jedi have just survived Order 66. Like I feel like it should be only a select few, if anything, that survive it all, like that actually make through it, right? It's fine if those ones teach others. Like, I'm okay with Kanan surviving, and he taught Ezra, right? Ezra was learned from Kanan. It's just if you start finding out, like, it's like, oh, Plo Koon survived too, like, he ejected his way out of the starfighter, and it's like, Mace Windu survived, and it's like that's where it's like I'm starting to. I feel like the events of Order 66 start becoming lessened, in my opinion, at least, if too many Jedi survive.
No, they can't survive. There's already too many to survive. But I just think Mace is an opportunity because he doesn't really die. He just kind of gets thrown out a window with one arm, kind of like the Emperor, who, guess what? He's not dead.
He's a space ghost.
Well, we don't really know. I can't, it's funny. I brought this up to Andrew because you guys know Andrew is a huge Black Series guy. And like a day or two before the Rise of Skywalker panel, I didn't say episode 9, they announced a new Palpatine Black Series figure. It was just like, oh yeah, there's this new Palpatine. I was like, why? And he's on his chair in the throne room, I'm like, that's kind of a random figure to put out. And then I saw the panel, and Ian McDermott came out, and I was like, oh, it was during the live stream that night. I was like, of course, that's why they have that Black Series, because it coincides with this. It was awesome. I thought that was an awesome moment for anybody that was there when he came out on stage, and he was just like, I wrote it again, and then they played the trailer again. I thought that was one of those things. That's why you go to Celebration. That and also meeting everybody. That's what I miss the most right now.
Yeah. I wish we could have all been there. It would have been so awesome.
You're the reason why we're not there.
I mean, how many times has Andrew had deep dish pizza? I haven't heard the
as of
count.
As of yesterday, he only had it once, and he didn't. He's gonna tell the story when he gets back. I don't ruin it for everybody now. He's gonna tell it himself. I'll let him tell it himself. It is.
This is what I said. Like, he's not gonna want to just eat it all the time.
That's not why. That's actually not why. He can't find any for cheaper than $90, and it takes way too long. But he has a story about it, and it's pretty amazing, and I can't wait for him to share it with everybody. Everybody's talking in the chat now about the Jedi Order, how they were all a bunch of jerks, and they were, actually, and that's the whole point of it, and that's why. Do you guys think that there is that the possibility of Jedi will sign for the Jedi to end, and they end officially, but the new group of positive Force users will be known as Skywalker?
Oh God, I hope not. I don't know. It's a little. I don't know. I like the concept of like Skywalker becomes sort of like a role, or like Skywalker becomes like a myth or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to exactly describe it. It's sort of like, instead of Grandmasters, like, you are a full Skywalker. Like, I'm okay with that, but I feel like we're a group of Skywalkers, and it's like, so.
It was in one of the books, in the Thrawn book, apparently. Den hooked me up on this one because I haven't read it. In Thrawn Alliances, there are people known as, Dan, I really need you to help me out here, that known as Sky Walkers. Help me out here. Somebody write it down.
Yeah, I remember
I haven't read
and I
that book.
didn't
So
care for it. So, I don't know. Can't we come up with a new word? Like, they're gonna keep making movies. Like, just come up with a new word.
Yeah, it sounds a little on the nose to me as well.
Yeah.
Like partially like, I mean, I'm gonna mention it again, but it's like it kind of like makes me think back to Solo and when he gets his name right, when he gets his last name, it's kind of like a wink and the nod to like just the name, the word Solo, and it's like he's all on his own, and now just making Skywalker into more than just a last name in terms of like a word. It doesn't sit entirely right with me, but who knows? Maybe they can make it work.
Yeah,
That's the way they do it.
I have full confidence in what J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio have written and what J.J. Abrams and his crew have done. So I'm like that dude in the park sitting at a table. It's like, they're Jedis are called Skywalkers. Make me change my mind or whatever. You know that meme?
Yeah. Oh man.
So I'm game for whatever it is, but I don't know. My reaction is like,
yeah. Right now, the prevailing theory that I think as to what Rise of Skywalker means is I think it's unfortunately just another word for the redemption of Skywalker. I think that's going to be having to do with Ben, unfortunately.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning towards, at least right now. But another trailer could change my mind, right? They could delve more into it. I mean, there's been so many people that over like the past two movies have been speculating. It's like, oh, what does Force Awakens mean? Who is the Last Jedi? Right, when it is, but those ones had more easy to determine like reasons why it's called the way it's called. I mean, Last Jedi literally had what it's who it's referring to in the crawl of Force Awakens, right? Like Luke Skywalker, the Last Jedi. This one I think I see a little bit more reason as to why people would speculate what the title means, what Rise of Skywalker could mean. So yeah, we could be debating as to what this title means for like the next 6 months. Possibly up until December when it comes out.
I'm just like envisioning the next 6 months of this podcast.
Yeah,
what Rise mean?
That's
Is
what's
Rise
fun about
like
Star Wars.
the
All right,
plural of
guys,
raise?
we got to wrap this up. I'm gonna wrap it up, Jonathan.
Cool.
Jonathan Davis throwing it back to a video that we did years and years and years ago, Brock, when we were both 17 years old. Remember before The Last Jedi, you guys had an idea of Force ghosts fighting against Snoke or someone from the Outer Rim. Maybe it's Palpatine and the Doctor from the comics, not Afro, but the guy who made Vader's suit. Hi, Jericho. The Hi, Jericho is not part of that comment. Are we going to get an Are we going to get an all-out war where Force ghosts fight alongside our heroes? And it is the most epic thing ever of all time.
Yeah, that's basically my idea that I keep bringing up. Vader's suit. I saw that in the thingamajiggy, this text thing. That's interesting. I maybe there could be lore on that, though. I read something recently that Vader himself was constantly updating his suit because it keeps him alive. So.
See, this is why I figure that what's going to happen is that Kylo Ren's going to have this castle, and they're going to be defending it, and then the rebels are going to come and they're going to be losing, and then all the Force ghosts are going to come in and help them beat the Kylo Ren.
And then two guys are going to be slaying evil guys and keeping score.
Exactly.
All right.
Combine all the universes.
All right, we're going to do a video on the title another day, so 10 years is on my mind. Don't you worry. Guys, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks so much for joining us on the Rebel Scum podcast. Rob, what are you up to? Where can everybody find you at?
Well, you can find me at Robert E. McDonald on both Instagram and Twitter, and also eagerly awaiting the time when Mandalorian comes out.
Yes.
I mean, literally counting down the days.
Brock, anything
I can't wait.
Brock, anything you want to add, Brock?
I don't know. I'll be here on the YouTubes. Check me out at Brock Bakes, where I bake cakes. No. Yeah. Hooray for Star Wars! Give us more things. it's gonna be weeks till I feel I've truly unpacked everything. Plus, I have to watch still, saw a lot of stuff. Anyways,
Yeah, there's so much to watch. Such a great weekend. One more day to go. Phantom Menace panel tomorrow. Hope everybody there has a great time. I will be watching online. I'm going to take my lunch break to coincide with that once again because I love that movie and I want to experience that as much as I can. I'll be doing a video on myself. I don't care if anybody watches it, but I'm going to do a video on that panel anyway. I'll get 3 views and it'll all be me from my account, from Aaron's account, and my mom's YouTube account. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. It's been great chatting with you in the live chats. And as always, may the force of others be with you.
bye.
Din, an F-105.
I wanna celebrate how great you are. I wanna celebrate whether near or far. We've been running for so long. Are one in the force. We gotta get back to the source. It's the same light is in us all. Together we fly, or we fall. We are one tonight. I want to celebrate how great you are. I want to celebrate whether near or far. Walking on the sky, the stars are all in reach tonight, 'cause we are one.